What's going on, guys? It's Lark here. Today we're going to be talking about the Power Ledger ICO. So we're going to be talking about what Power Ledger does. We're going to be talking about its competition, what it's been doing in the news, and if it's really a good project. All that and more after a quick shout out to everyone who's been hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel down below, guys. I really love all that support, so thank you so much for continuing to support me and my channel, guys. Also, a quick disclaimer, this is not professional financial advice. This is just one man and his passion for all things crypto related on the internet. And of course, because this is an ICO, I do have to mention, guys, that I am not getting paid by Power Ledger to do this review. I'm doing this review because it's a great company and, you guys asked me to do these reviews, so that's what we do. That's what we do here on the Crypto Lark channel. So guys, let's get into it. What is Power Ledger trying to do? Power Ledger is creating a peer-to-peer, well, one of the main things they're doing is creating a peer-to-peer energy marketplace. Very exciting idea. One of the things that's always held me up with a lot of these is thinking about, well, how are you actually going to distribute that energy? It's all great if, I want to buy energy off my neighbor and we run a cable between the two properties and we use some kind of token to exchange that energy. Well, that's great. They've kind of figured it out, actually, and that is by not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Essentially, they are getting the current existing utility companies involved. They are the ones hosting the platform. They are the ones hosting the marketplace, which has a lot of benefits, a lot of benefits. We're going to talk about those. So, peer-to-peer trading, fantastic idea, except what if, okay, I'm giving up power companies. I want to buy all the energy off my neighbor's roof. Well, it's been cloudy for a few days. Now there's not enough energy to buy. Now my neighbor's out of power and he doesn't want to sell me any. That's a problem as a consumer. But keeping the marketplaces available through the existing power companies, you reduce that risk. You will not have that non-supply risk. Yeah, you can still buy it off your neighbor. That's great. That is great. But now you can do both. So you can go to the energy marketplace and say, okay, I use 50 units of power a month. My neighbor John can sell me 20. Great. I'm going to buy 20 off John and I'll get the other 30 off the marketplace. Or I'll get the other 30 straight from the company. Done. Easy. Keeps it simple. Now, they're going for a lot more than just that, though, which is one of the things that makes Power Ledger very exciting. So they're going for, electricity metering. Seems like something the blockchain would do very well. Big data acquisition, microtransactions, and grid management. Grid management's a really important one as well. Right now, the electricity system as it works, they basically produce as much power as possible and just blast it out, and you need to have X amount in order to meet demand. And whether people are using less than that amount, you still have to produce X amount. So you always have to stay ahead significantly of the estimated demand. And of course, when you exceed that, and sort of third world countries that have badly managed grids, that's when you have power blackouts. Now, the one thing about Power Ledger as well, Power Ledger is a legitimate company, by the way. It's not just some theoretical blockchain fantasy. Power Ledger is actually out there doing stuff already, and they're actually operating in Western Australia, and they've come to New Zealand recently, which is also very exciting, and they have so many great ideas for this ICO. So it's not, like I said, it's not just about peer-to-peer, guys. They're also doing stuff like electric vehicle charging. So say, for example, I just want to buy all my energy from my power company. But again, my neighbor John, I know he's got those solar panels, and I just bought myself a Tesla. I'd like to charge it up every day. I'm going to use John's solar panels to power up my Tesla every day. And so again, you can get those kind of microtransactions happening like that. So that's really exciting. And of course, they're going to get into carbon trading. Everybody loves some good old-fashioned carbon trading. So they're getting into a lot of really exciting stuff here, guys. So one thing as well you might be worried about is this is an Ethereum-based coin. This is an Ethereum-based coin. And we all know that currently Ethereum's got about, 15 transactions per second? If you're going to be doing even one country worth of energy, microtransactions out the wazoo. You're reading meters, you're, doing microtransactions for cars and all this stuff. Well, thank God Ethereum is upgrading, and that the Raiden upgrades are coming. There'll be 1 million plus transfers per second. So we got the scaling solved. That is not a problem. Not a problem at all, guys. So the peer-to-peer trading is already in operation. Everything else is kind of in the works. Electric vehicle trading is coming. Under development, carbon trading, still a ways off, but it's coming. Now, this is actually the white paper here, by the way. And they've got a nice little bit of what they've already done. They do have a more detailed roadmap laying out what they're going to be doing. But actually looking at this is some pretty exciting stuff too. First international deployment, that was New Zealand! That's very exciting. So they're an international company now. They're in Australia and New Zealand. Fantastic. Can we call this an Australasian company? What do you think over there in Australia, guys? Can we call this Australasian? No, I'm just kidding. This is an Australian company, and I'm really excited that this Australian company has come over to New Zealand, seen the potential here for our electricity network, and have started working with us over here too. So that's really exciting, and they're going to be getting a lot more partnerships in the future, of course, as well. They've also just got another partnership as well with Indra Australia, which is very exciting for them too. And this PowerPoint, by the way, which basically constitutes their white paper, because I guess they thought they didn't really need to have a white paper because they're a working company already. Again, it's not a fantasy project that they have here. This is from the Necker Island Blockchain Summit. Essentially, they went over, hung out with Richard Branson, and I actually missed this one because I read the paper, I read the news report about the Necker Island Blockchain Summit, and I read about IOTA in that one, but I didn't even click on Power Ledger. So thanks for pointing me this way, guys. If you come and have a look at their roadmap, not only is it detailed, but it's also ambitious. Green loyalty rewards programs. The marketing's rolling out late next year. So the one thing that I see when I look at this roadmap, I see that this is a long-term hold. If you are going to be getting invested into this ICO, you got to hold on to those tokens for a few years, guys, because the real value is going to come when this is fully working. And everything that they have here, all their plans get out and rolled out, and that'll be by the end of 2019. So you got this is a 2020 hold, guys. Hold it until 2020. Get it now. Hold it till 2020. It'll pay off. This is a picture of someone from their team hanging out with Richard Branson. That's exciting. One other thing to mention here as well is that they've already done their pre-ICO, and in their pre-ICO they sold 90% of the tokens that they had offered, and they raised about 90 million tokens have already been sold, and they raised about $17 million. So that's pretty exciting. They did have a lot of interest in that. They're expanding too. They're heading over to Singapore. They're talking to people in Singapore, so they are definitely going to be a leader in the region, which is very exciting. So it's nice to see them out there doing this. And the team, guys, the team's great on this one. That is for sure. You got, I won't bore you with everyone's resumes here, but if we just look even at Bill Tai, Bill's been in chips. He's a board member over at BitFury. He's been working with different venture capital, and he's the driving force behind this here. So, and just going down the list here, a lot of people with a really talented resumes. And again, it's not a fantasy project. These guys are at their offices every day. This is a working company that's already doing stuff in Western Australia, in New Zealand, and now they're just taking it up a notch by tokenizing and blockchaining everything. So it's pretty exciting stuff, guys. If you do want to get involved, we are in week 1 of the sales still at the time of recording this video, so you can still get that 15% bonus, which is pretty exciting. They've already raised quite a bit of money, as you can see. There are only 140 million power available, so this might even sell out, considering the press that it's been getting. Now, unfortunately, guys, I do have to tell you, Chinese citizens and American citizens are currently prohibited from taking place in this. That sucks. That sucks. I'd say if you're from Singapore, you may be out as well, although it's not said here, so maybe you're good if you're from Singapore. Everyone else, you can come over here and get involved. Step-by-step instructions. Couldn't be much easier to participate in an ICO if you do want to. Now, Power, POWR, sorry, is the token itself, but there will be two tokens operating within their ecosystem, Power and Sparks. And Sparks represent the actual units of energy that are traded. So that's something as well. People will actually come to the marketplace and buy Sparks, not necessarily come and buy Power. So when you want to buy 20 units of Power from your neighbor, you'll be buying Sparks from him or her, of course. Okay. As mentioned, they are currently out there operating. They're working with Vector New Zealand here in New Zealand and Western Power Western Australia over in Australia. And of course, as I said, they do have that that collaboration with Indra going forward as well. This is nice, and I'm very happy to see this too, is that they have anti-whale provisions. Anti-whale provisions. So you can only spend $25,000 if you do want to invest. That's the max investment, guys. Thank God. Because that really just... When I see that, I understand that they're invested in getting the network going and not just in getting money. Because if they were just interested in getting money, they would just take the money. No matter, yeah, you want $10 million? Yeah, give us the money, give us the money. But they don't want to do that. They want to get a network going. They want a lot of people to have these tokens so that they're traded and used, and that creates an ecosystem. That creates a system where people are using these, where there's a volume of them moving around, and that's important. Now, of course, as I did mention, a New Zealand company, Vector, is working with them currently. They signed a memorandum of understanding last year. Understanding. And of course, they started trialing the peer-to-peer energy trading system in Auckland, which is our major city, for those of you who don't know, just last year. So again, pretty exciting stuff right there. Pretty exciting stuff. So I'd be keen to hear from anybody up in Auckland. How is that going for you? How is that going for you guys? Anyone actually using this in Auckland? Likewise, is anyone over in Western Australia using this? That would be very, very interesting to know. Do you have solar panels on your roof and are you selling them? Or have you got a neighbor that you're buying from? I'd be curious to hear either way in the comment section down below, guys. This is just a quick chart looking at Australia's renewable energy usage. Now, currently this year, they're up to 17.3%, and that's up from 14.6% last year. So it is growing like most places. Australia has an unimaginably huge potential for renewable energy. Currently, amazingly, most of their energy is coming from hydro, a lot of wind, and solar is gaining all the time. Solar is gaining all the time in Australia, so that's also very exciting to see that moving forward. It's good for Australia. It's good for the world. It's a great project, and I hope that Power Ledger will have a lot of success moving forward. Now, look, it's not all sunshines and rainbows, guys. One thing that we do have to account for is, are people actually going to use this? This is perhaps one of the biggest things you actually need to think about in a project like this. I probably would. But, you know, I'm quite concerned with the environment and renewable energy and all this stuff. But most people are inherently lazy. Most people probably won't want to go to a marketplace, look for someone to buy solar energy off of, and trade some tokens around to do it, etc., etc. It's not super easy. So most people just prefer to get a power bill. They don't even look at it. It just goes straight out of their bank account. They don't want to know. They don't care. They got Desperate Housewives or whatever the television program is now that people watch, you know. They got stuff to do. They don't have time to go look for renewable energy. But a lot of people do. A lot of people do, and a lot of people will. You know, whether it's a big enough quantity of people to make it viable or not, that's another question. And of course, maybe they've got ideas in the future where, for example, you know, your power company will simply offer it to you. Would you like to, you know, have 10% of your power come from, you know, the Power Sparks network? Something like this. That's also possible. That's also possible. If it's a sort of set it and forget it kind of thing, more people will probably use it. But we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Now, Power Ledger is not the only player in the business, guys. There are, in fact, 2 other ICOs coming up very, very soon. One is WePower. This is in Europe. And the other is Pylon. I'm pretty sure this is also based out of Europe. So there is competition in the energy space, but I'm not worried about that, to be honest. There are so many energy companies out there already. I look at New Zealand, we have like 15, 20 energy companies in this country, and they all make a killing. They're just absolutely, so much money. It's crazy. So there's definitely room for plenty of players here in this market. There's already some people with coins. I don't know how successful Grid Plus is at the moment. Energy Coin, I don't know if they're really doing anything or if that's just a stalled project. The one thing that is interesting, though, is Sun Contract. Now, Sun Contract has just come off of its ICO only a few days ago. That's pretty exciting. So, and they're already on the marketplace, already trading, already got some value, already worth $4.5 million on CoinMarketCap. So it's already happening, guys. There are players who are, doing this already. So I'm not too worried about competition in that sense. I've actually got a lot of faith in this project because it is a good company, because they are already doing stuff. It's not a fantasy. The only, of course, worry is, will people use it? I hope they will. Because I think it's a fantastic project, and that moving forward, projects like this will be the norm. This will be how energy is traded in the future. It will be decentralized, because centralization of energy has a lot of problems that goes with it, from blackouts to price gouging and all the rest of it, and inefficiency, massive inefficiency. So much of our global resources have been wasted just burning up energy that never gets used. So there's a lot of problems that companies like Power Ledger can solve. So it's really interesting for me, guys. Anyway, that is all from the Crypto Lark, guys. Hit me up in the comment section down below. Let me know, are you going to invest in this ICO? Are you using this already? Anyone in Australia and New Zealand, are you using this already? I'd be really curious to hear about your experience if you are using this company already. Guys, that's all from the Crypto Lark. Long live the blockchain, and peace out.